Good afternoon, everybody. Just trying to get my camera holder out of the way there, but that's all good now. All right. Okay, I've got 3 tiles today, but I haven't. I just wanted to show you what I've been doing and which one I've picked and why, basically. But yeah, welcome again, tile 174. I wonder what tile number were we on this time last year? That's something I think I'm going to have to go back and have a look at, because I know we did tile 100 on New Year's Eve, didn't we? So what tile number were we on? Yeah, a bit of a check, so you can get the first answer. So okay, what we're doing today, I've been playing a little bit with some of the tiles, and I've used the Koi's watercolours. So if I show you this one first, this is the regular watercolours, the blues, and then as you can see, I've actually flicked on some of the blue, sort of the pearlescent out the metallic set there. I kind of like that one. It's got little bits missing, but that's good. And then this one, I've used the Koi's, the metallic section, because you see there you've got the neon blue. So it shows up quite nicely. And then I've used the white pearlescent as well. That would be quite nice for today's tile, but I've decided that I'm not going to use a white pen today. I'm going to use this one. And again, it's a mixture, so the purples that you can see and the blues in the background, they are from the Koi's regular. And then you can just see, look, I've flicked on as well. I've got some of the dark blue there. I think that was a neon, actually. And then I've got the pearlescent on it as well. So just wanted to sort of show you where that was going. And I've picked this one because it's quite soft and it's got a couple of these little sort of bits and pieces, which I'm going to have going sort of up and that way, I think. You know, it'll make sense when you see what we're going to do. Nice light one today, I think, but it's really pretty, and I think it's going to do a little bit more than just being a tile. You can add it to your other bits and pieces. So think about the feather. Did I say that? Feather. And yeah, this one will be quite a nice one to add to it. So hello everyone and good morning. Good morning from New York. That seems really, still, I can't quite get my head around it that I'm here in the afternoon talking to everybody, and I'm speaking to people in New York and down south and Scotland and Ireland, and it's just lovely. So thank you for sticking with me. Are we ready then? Okay, got my pen, pencil tortillon. Don't really need much more than that. Actually, I might use a bit of a gold pen, but let's see how far we get. Okay. So I'm just going to go a little larger so you can see what I'm doing. And I said I wanted them to go this way because I want to sort of feel that things are going this way a little bit. So having said that, yeah, let's start going this way. I'm going to create a curved line. All right, straight over the top. And then another quite close. There we go, just a bit of an aura. Whew. So far, so good. We've got this, we can do it. Now at the bottom here, I'm going to add a little bit of a sort of teardrop-ish kind of shape. Maybe just round it off at the bottom a bit. Okay. And then at the top, I'm just going to sort of bring it out. Like so. And then sort of along there. Okay. So let's go and make it a bit larger, so we've got that kind of thing. So while I'm here, I'm just going to do a really narrow grid, so you just sort of come down a little bit there, and the same here, just gives it a little bit of texture. I'm not going to go all the way up the stem, but little bits. And then of course turning it round and do it again, and then this one. So, have we got lots planned for the weekend? Or are we going to just be sitting tangling? I know what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so we've got this kind of shape. Let's have a look at the next bit then. I'm going to come in and I'm going to create a little curve coming off the top there. Let's do on that side, so sort of know where I'm headed. And then let's put a couple sort of in the middle. And then from there, we can sort of gauge and add a few extras. Now, if they're a little bit different in size, doesn't matter. So I'm going to go a little bit further out that side, look. One in there. And then let's work our way. You see I'm going sort of from that base each time. Let's add a couple more. Okay. So again, I'm going to go a little bit larger. Oh, thank you, Joanne. Tile 67. Goodness me. We've come a bit of a way since then, haven't we? Okay. Gosh, 67. Yeah, and then we thought we'd done a lot. You see, I'm just putting a smaller line in between each. If it's a bit narrow, it doesn't matter. You can go over the top. There we are. And then I'm just going to add a little dot on each one of those. There we are. Again, just a little dot, nothing crazy. Might put a couple there. Look. Okay. Janet, that's funny. What did they say? Oh no, Julie, 12 tiles. How many have we done since then? Gosh, can we divide 174 by 12? I'm sure we can. Does it come out as an even number? All right, you see where these larger pieces are, these larger lines? What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little sort of curl back on itself, almost like a little spring. Okay, same in this one. Now, if you can only sort of get one on, it's fine, but we're aiming for little springs at the end of each one, you see? Aren't they sweet? Okay, so take your time with them. And you know what I tend to do is I start quite quickly but then slow down and then flick. And that just feels quite nice. Or do a really slow, quick, or quick, slow, quick. It's like a little dance, isn't it? No, it is. I know, we're all ready for Strictly at the weekend. Yeah, I think that's going to be quite an exciting one this year. Having a crafter in the midst. Yeah, I'm going to put that one on the end, look. All right, let's turn it round. There we go, in there. Okay, let's have a look at that. All right, oh, look, isn't that sweet? Let's have a look at it. There you are. It's got this lovely sort of flicker to it, hasn't it? A little bit of a character all on its own. Love that. So let's just take it out so you can see the whole tile. There we are. You see now why I wanted sort of these sort of coming in. It's going to be quite nice. So I'm going to bring another one in. I'm going to take it this way this time. So of course it's going to go underneath. And then again, let's have another line. All right. And then that little sort of bobbly shape on the end. And then cross on the top. There we go. Same sort of shape. All right. So I'll just enlarge it a little bit again. There we are. And let's come in with that grid shape. I'm just going to just quite close. Just sort of extend it down a little bit, down that stem. Same when you get to this bit, just gonna fill those bits in there. And then of course going the other way. There we are. Of course, as you know, I'm on Create and Craft on Monday, and I'm gonna have a bit of a meeting with them in the afternoon so we can sort some dates and times for the next shows and things, which means once I've got those, I can start to plan in classes. So whether it's going to be Zoom classes or actually coming here classes, we'll do a bit of a mixture of both. But I just needed to get my dates in so I know where we're headed. And then anybody who's up near Harrogate at the end of October, I'm going to be doing show up there by Stamp Addicts, I think. It was one that I'd booked a long time ago, and then thought, oh, forgot I'd done that one. So I'm going to be up there. That's the week before Craftopia. That's the Saturday. And then, of course, Craftopia. Here I come. And as we know, lovely Pauline's going to be there as well. I'm going to take Leslie Elf. She's going to be there. April, yeah, they're on there. I've got a 7:30 one. Oh gosh, and then a 12 and a, oh, where have I gone? A 12 and a 3. So there we go. I wanted to enlarge it and I turned it round. It's a good job I've got a clean ceiling, isn't it? All right, let's have some of those curls again. Oh, hi Lorraine, welcome back. We've missed you. We know you were there. We're ready for tile swap number 9 on Monday. So yeah, don't forget, the tile swap number 9 is going to be 7 o'clock in the evening on Monday, not the 2 o'clock as we normally do. I know the internet's not so good always up there, so we're going to move it so we know that we're going to get a signal at least. All right, here we go. So getting some of these lovely little curls in. So if you've been doing the totems, then you'll be pretty good at these, because obviously the pig's got a little curly tail, so that's quite nice. Oh, not to miss that one there, look. There we go. All right. Okay, let's walk that down a bit. Okay, so we've got a couple going on there, haven't we? Let's bring in another one then. Let's have a look. I'm going to bring one in sort of around this area. Oh, are they, Christine? Yeah. I think the colours in the background as well are nice. It just gives it that little bit of magic to it. Yeah, kind of nice stamping some little fairies in there as well, if you want to. There we go. So as before, I'm going to add the grid. There we go. Same down here. Just taking my time. And you're not going to do anything else with that grid, it's just for a little bit of an effect. So let's just work it around there. Okay. And again, now, as you see, I did start with one either side and then in the middle. But of course, if you feel confident, feel free to add in your little lines. When you get towards the centre, you see that it starts to curl the other way. There we go. There's no right or wrong. Oh, Bob, do they? That's not good. I mean, our internet's pretty good here. It's better than the last place, so I don't know what's going on there. Oh, we missed you, Bob. So we're going to have some more kicking out there, look. There we are, just blowing in the breeze. Oh, Jackie, that's a really good idea, isn't it? Just take your mind off things for a little bit. It must be boring otherwise, sitting there with nothing to do. Yeah. Deb, that's a good point, actually. There's a few people asked me that, but I don't know whether you have to be asked. So if you're up for a Craftopia online and you think that it'd be something you want to do, email Andy Love at creatingcraft.tv or Lowen and ask them if they can arrange it. I'm sure we could sort something, but again, I think it's like an invite. I have to be asked. Well, I'm sure they'd accommodate if they knew people wanted it. There we are. Look at these, aren't they lovely? Okay. again. I'm just going to put one here, but I'm going to go a little bit smaller this time. Oh yeah, just going underneath, just as before. I know, Chris, I am going to do some zooms. So I've just got to sort out dates and things, and I'll get them on as soon as, of course. And we want more classes, don't we? We want to be coming over here and joining in. And it was a fab weekend, that was. Absolutely fab. Still getting over it. But it was thoroughly enjoyable. There we are. Of course, now having a look behind the scenes as well. Do you like our videos that we've been doing? We thought it'd be nice that you can see where things get made. So, we were a little bit, shall we do this? I thought, go on, why not? We're amongst friends. There we are. So again, just add in there some little lines inside. There we go. Just sort of, you know, even if you can't get the lines because they're quite narrow, then even if you still add a few dots in there, it makes all the difference. Oh, thanks, Glennies. Now, of course, this is a little bit smaller. Oh, got a bit bigger there. I'm not going to do as many curls. I'm just going to do the one. Of course, we want a little bit of sense of perspective, maybe, so we're just going to go a little bit less. All right. There we go. Just taking your time with them, just sort of enjoy going around and flicking off. Yeah, just sort of, they work really well. It's quite a nice sort of shape to do, that one. There we go. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you like the videos. We'll do another when we start making some books. Oh, did I say books? Yeah. When we start making some books, we'll show you how they're made. Oh, quite interesting. It's sort of my domain. As Leslie tends to work on the lasers, I tend to work getting the printing done. Okay, so there we go. And yeah, don't try and draw exactly the same as me. If you find it easier to draw up or down bank when I'm drawing down bank or up bank, it's fine. Whatever works for you. I mean, I'm starting this way and working my way along. It might be easier for that along there. Oh, Chris, yeah, I will. I will do a little video showing you a tile as well. We've made lots of tiles this week because, of course, we've got new colours. But yeah, the little lady elf down there at the moment has got some of the tiny ones in incubators. They're growing as we speak. Oh. No, it's lovely. There we go. Okay, so that middle one again. And let's add in those little dots just as before. Alright, and then on the top, there we go. Funnily enough though, Chris, Dobby's nowhere to be seen with the tiny tiles. He's leaving the little girl Alf to control them. He doesn't like the screaming. He says, I'm off. Yeah, and he just apparated in front of our eyes. There we go. See how they're sort of starting to form now? But you must have noticed they're getting a little bit smaller each time. So see this one, a little bit smaller still. Now, of course, yours is going to be a little bit different because your first one you wouldn't have put in exactly the same place as me, so not to worry. We've just got to sort of consider, you know, we're going a little bit smaller now. Just taking taking our time as before. And of course, the smaller you go, the more fiddly it becomes adding these little grids. So if you find that it's tricky there, then you want to just add a little bit of colour to it rather than do the grids. That's fine. I'm going to add a couple more little lines to that one. Again, just little curls. There we are. All right. Lynn, yeah, they will be back soon. It's just that we've got the let's say the cardstock in, but we're a colour missing at the minute. So we've got to wait for that to come in stock with my supplier, which should be next week. And then we'll get some in. I've got the other colours, it's just the rust that we're not. Oh, Joanne, that sounds intriguing. I've still got the clock that Pauline gave me to start. That's going to be fantastic in here, actually. I mean, we've got the one up that Joanne made and tangled, but I can't see it from here. I can see it, but I can't tell the time. So I think the one that Pauline gave me will get that tangled on at some point and get that up on the wall. I think I'll see that one. There we go again. See, I'm just going to do little ones. I'm not going to go as big as the first ones. There we are. No rush. They're sort of just flying away in the wind, aren't they? It'd be nice today just to be floated away on the breeze. I don't know if there's a breeze out there. There's a little breeze out there. The trees are moving, which is nice. Okay. Oh, we'll relax now with this. Oh, thanks, Chris. It's nice, isn't it, for you to see that things like that. But I think it's also nice to remember that our first stencils we cut on a very small sticker cutter, and anything that we cut, you know, in terms of tiles and things and books, we cut them all by hand. I mean, literally with a craft knife and a mat on a desk. That was quite, that was quite something, I must admit. So it's nice that we've, you know, reinvested as time's gone on. So certain things still are done by hand, but we've got a little bit of a mechanical hint in there as well now. But just to sort of, you know, so we can make sure that everybody gets everything rather than just doing a few. There we go. All right. Chris, I know, yeah. They were before, they were in the cold and the dark, and that's it. But now they've got their own little space. Those little tiny tiles. There we go. See, notice how now they're starting to sort of go behind. There we go. Okay. Little dots. Now if you want to put all the lines in first and do the dots afterwards, it's fine. But I'm just going to go ahead and do them like that. You see, now this time I might just do a really little one, you see? Let's go a bit bigger so you can see it. Okay. Just really, you know, little ones. Just sort of skimming off the ends there. That doesn't mean to say if you don't want to do the swirls, you could do all sorts of shapes. You could leave them, you could add little droplets on the top. It's, you know, whatever way you want to go with it. There we go. You see? Oh, Rose, that'd be good, yeah. A tiny tile idea book. That'd be worth looking into, wouldn't it? I'll do one here. Okay, so see again, it's a lot smaller. So this is the last one I did. Now it's gone even smaller still. So I'm just sort of adding as much detail as you can there. There's not going to be much. giving it a little bit of direction. And then of course now we're going to start smaller lines coming out. This is a great one, you know, if you really need to relax and focus and just hone in on one. And because it's very repetitive and you're getting smaller and smaller each time, this means that your focus will go into that mode a lot quicker, because there's very little to think about. It's all about each one getting smaller and smaller. There we go. Okay, so let's bring another one in. Again, this one's smaller. And little holes at the top and bottom. Tiny little sort of grid spaces. And then back in again. There we are. Now this one, do we want it to go over or under? I think I'm going to go over. It's your choice. Whichever you want to do. See, that's quite small now, so I'm just going to add dots wherever I can. I'm not really focusing on getting them all exactly in the lines or on the top there. It's just about giving it that little bit of effort there. Okay, let's have another one. I'm going to go like that. I like a little bit of space, I think. I'm going to put one in here. Same as before. There we are, there's the bobble on the bottom, on the top. Okay. And then just gonna add a few of those little lines. There we go. Just down below there. Okay. And same as again, just sort of see how small you can get with these little spirals on the end. Alright. And then let's just, I'm going to add another one in here. Now this time it's going to be a lot smaller, so I'm going to go really close. Now if I make that a little bit bigger. There we are, see how small that is? And I'm not even gonna, I'm just gonna put a tiniest little blob on the end. Tiniest little piece on the top. And then gently work my way around. Now this time it's so small, we're not gonna get those little swirls on. It's just about leaving it outside. Okay. And another one, tiny little one, and a little bobble there on the top. And can I just say that that is not a tiny tile being rustled to death. It's my husband and the chocolate biscuits. We don't have tiny tiles hatching. It's a good job, really. They're not ready yet. John is about as subtle as anything when it comes to opening a packet of biscuits. All right, this time it's quite small, so I'm just going to do a single line with a bobble on the end, and then bobble on the top, and then just work my way around. Okay, let me just show you that one. See, a little bobble. Kathy, don't you encourage him. Oh, he's funny. Okay, so I think we can get a few more of those little ones in there. Let's have a look. Gonna sort of wandering off over there, aren't they? But maybe there's gonna be one here, like little dots on the end, and then round we go. Okay. And then let's put one up here. And again, just sort of little. There we go. Lovely, love that. Is it lovely? Okay, so I think, of course, it needs a few extra bubbles. Oh, Pat, no, we won't be getting me one. One, I don't do dark chocolate biscuits. And the other, I'm gluten-free these days, so. Yeah. Can't even eat a donut. I must admit though, Angela, who came to the class, brought me some completely free of everything cakes from Tesco, some chocolate cake, and it was absolutely lovely. They were really nice. So that's the first cake I'd eaten in quite a while. But yeah, that's okay. You get used to it, don't you? It's not a problem. All right. So I'm just going round now, and I'm adding a couple of bubbles in places. All right. Just not going to overdo it. We just want a nice light sort of gentle breeze where some of these bubbles are going to work. There we go. Now if you've got a fine liner and a lighter coloured pen, let's just have a look. I know I didn't say at the beginning we needed it, but let's have a look. I do. I've got a grey. Actually, yeah, I've got a grey. So I'm coming in with grey. Jackie. To be honest, I've tried the dairy-free cheese and we can't stand the smell. The smell is just, I mean, the cheese tastes nice, but the smell is just awful. Don't know what's going on with that. But here we go. Just using that grey pen. It's, if anybody needs to see, it's a, here we go. Yeah. And it's a 01. There we go. Their brushes are nice as well. Is it just adding a few little ones on the top there? See how it just gives it that little bit more distance. Oh, Chris, I don't have a problem, honestly, not with chocolate, anything like that. It's not a problem. I'm a good girl, I suppose, until it comes to Prosecco. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just adding a few of the dots in, nothing major. There we are. Okay. So we've got quite a lot of free space today, but that gives it the feeling of lightness and that these are floating. And I'm not going to put any more in there because I want to do a bit of shading, but I also want to have a look at a couple of little drop shadows maybe and see how we get from there. Oh, Maureen does it. I wonder if that's what... We did buy some. It was completely dairy-free, but oh my goodness me. It smelled absolutely awful. Even Benji wasn't sure. And trust me, when it comes to cheese, that's not... Honestly? Okay. Pencils at the ready then. So I'm going to start with the larger one. Remember at the very beginning? And we're going to add some pencil just inside the top bit there. And then I'm going to add some just along into there. Okay. And you see where I've taken some of this part way down? Let's just add just a little bit of pencil. I'm just going to use that side, just going down a little bit. Okay. And then let's have a look at another one. So I'm just going to add in that pencil there. Don't be afraid to add a little bit, it's not a problem. And again, see where I've got the shadow, sort of the grid falling down. So I'm going to just add the pencil to where that is. Oh, no, sorry, did we bring food up? I tell you what is really nice, and it's gluten-free crumpet. And they're made, the brand's called Genius, and they're absolutely divine. I could eat them all day, they're lovely. So keep your chocolate biscuits. Yeah, there we are. Again, this one doesn't really have any shading, so I'm just going to add a little bit just to the top there, just a little bit in there, and then of course back into the shadow bits, just adding a touch. It's going to get a little bit narrower now as we get smaller, so you're not going to really be able to add a massive amount, but that's okay. Just do little bits when we can. These ones, this is my little half size. These are the same as the original black ones. We just changed the colour, but the new ones, the longer red ones, are different. They are a lot more buttery, or creamy, however you want to put it, compared to these. They've sort of gone up a level, so let's say. But these are lovely. These work really well, and they're great to have something small in hand. But the larger pencils are a little bit softer. There we go. All right. So that's sort of all of those sort of sections shaded. Now, while we're up here, I want to do a bit of drop shadowing, and I think it's quite a nice one to do it on because they're all the same shape. So let's start with the bubble. I'm going to add that little familiar smirk in the bubble, but then I'm going to add one outside of it as well. Okay. And same sort of thing. Now some of them are so small you're not going to get much in, so I'm going to just focus on the larger ones. Then into this one. So I'm doing it at the same side at the minute. Whether you want to do it the other side, if it's more comfy, that's fine. Doesn't matter, just sort of keep them together, keep them the same. Yeah. So same on these ones. So I'm going to ignore, I'm going to put a little bit like at the side of them, but not anything inside because they're too small. I'll get one in there, look. So if yours are a bit small again, just sort of add a little bit to the side of it. Again, just a bit there. See, I'm not going to go into massive amounts of detail with those. Okay, so the next bit then. Now this one's sort of the bottom left hand side. Oh God, maybe. Maybe. I can't possibly say. Now you see here we've got this sort of curve here. I've come almost down at an angle, and I'm working on the same side look as those. But then under here, I'm going to come in this side. Just add a little bit there. So then my next one is going to be under here. You see, I've sort of recreated the shape but slightly offset. And then again, I'm just going to do a little bit up here, get me to nothing. Next ones, I've got a few here to deal with. So this one, this side. So it's almost always on the underside, isn't it? So like there, under there. But it's eventually it will join somewhere. Now this one, I'm going to go this side. Because of course that goes over that way. Oh, I did. Like we haven't heard that before. Alright, a little bit there. And this one, I'm going to stick there, under there. And this one. Okay. This one. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so you see we've got these extra lines on them. I'll do a bit on that. These ones I think are a little bit too small to do anything with, so we won't worry about it. Just going to add just a little bit under there. So the trick is not to completely overwhelm the design, but we just want a few gestures. Right then, let's come in with our tortillon. Quick sip of tea, one thinks. right. Oh, Maureen, that's okay. I did say, didn't I, last week, if any orders Saturday, Sunday last week, you got one of my new pencils and a new white pencil as well. They're brilliant. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody because, of course, you've been with me on this journey, haven't you? Supported me, so it's nice to give a little back. Okay, you see here, I'm just adding that little bit of softness to that shadow there. And then, of course, just along here, just a gentle pressure. Okay, and while we're at it, I'm just going to pull that out a little. There's not much you can do with it, it's quite small. Okay, same on this one, just work it up a bit. And then down we go. And then as you come to these bubbles, let's just soften the bubble, but also soften the little shade there. Right. So let's move on to the next ones. And same as before, just sort of keeping in with that little bit of shading. There we are. Oh, thank you, Caroline. We do our very, very best. But I'm just like you, when I order something, you think, oh, why don't everybody like Amazon? Next day delivery. So we work really hard to get it out to you. It's a little bit trickier as well these days because the post office isn't just up the road. It's quite a trek round, so we do our utmost to get parcels out as quickly as we can. Get you tangling as soon as possible. There we go. See, just get my way around. Just softening up any sort of pencil I come into contact with. Oh, there we are. Get just little bits. And because you're softening the pencil and you've already got a background that's a little bit busy, if it's slightly out or the shadows aren't exactly where you'd think, oh, they should be, then it's quite forgiving. So don't think, oh, I've done this wrong or it's in the wrong place. As long as you've got a little bit of shadow somewhere, and of course you could always rub it out if you need to. All right, let's have a quick look at this then, because there's a couple more bits we've got to do to it. There we are. So I'm going to bring in a white pen, a white gel pen. I'm just going to check it works. Yeah, it does. And let's move that in. And I'm just going to put some white, you know, on the edge that I didn't put any of the graphite. So see this side, look, I've got there. Well, here you can see where it's got pencil there, so I'm going to do it on the opposite side. You see the difference that's making now? Let's just zoom out a little bit. Yeah? So again, you don't have to go all the way up. Some of them will get a bit narrow, see, so just add a touch. It's almost like giving it a highlight. Same here. Working my way along there. Okay, onto this one, just a little bit there. And then of course, your little bubbles, you can add a little dot on. Well, let's go a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. See that one, I've gone over my pen. There we go. And just a touch. Now, the small one's a little bit too small to do anything with, as I've said, so don't try and get every one. Just do the ones you can. It's sort of almost opposite where we did the shadows earlier. So you might find that your little highlight's going on the right hand side. Okay, so let's have a look at the gold. I did have a gold with me. Okay. So I'm going to come back now to these little dots on the inside here. And again, just sort of make sure that your pen works, because we're just going to add a dot onto each. So I'm not going to draw around, do a bubble, anything like that. You see there, look, I'm just, there you go, touching it with the pen, and the dot will form it's all by itself. You've just got to make sure your pen works. Okay, same with these. Now if you've got some close together, that's okay, you can miss some if you want. Try and get them all in if you can, you see. And then last thing you want, do not rub your hand over it, because the gel pen will go all over the place. Okay. Now here in the tiny one, I'm going to get a few little dots in there. And then into this one. Just sort of touching where we put those original black dots. Just take your time with it. And you don't have to use gold or silver, you can use a colour. There you go. See, they look like the little pinheads, don't they? Whatever colour you want to use, it's fine. Let's do this one first. Okay, just a glaze pen would be nice as well, wouldn't it? Just a clear glaze. Just bring them out. And we're not wanting it to be, you know, certain, the first thing you see, and it's just about having a little bit of something. Let's have a look at that. Okay. Oh, come on down. And we see there we've got those little, just a little hint. You see when you move it? Of course that works with the pearlescent colour in the background. So I'm just going to add a couple little gold bubbles just to add to the bits of bubbles in the background. Don't have to be many, just a few. Don't count them and don't try and repeat them. Just wherever you think this should be. A few. Oh, okay. But, you know, it's really relaxed me, that one. It's one of those tiles that sometimes you think, I just could lose myself in this. Carry on with the breeze. There we go. So I did, so I looked at a darker tile earlier, and with being the gold, I did do a little bit. It's only a quick sort of try. And I did a gold pen, there we go, with a bit of white in it on that sort of dark blue tile. So it's quite nice to sort of go subtle, there we go, and go quite light. Or whether you want to go a little bit more glitzy and try something a bit different. But I do think it's kind of got something about it, that one. And I said you could actually include it, you know, with one of your other pieces that you've done before, and just add a few in the background. It's just a really nice little tangle to do. So I think I did, Lynn, as well. I think I needed a bit of a relax. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you like it. And yeah, give it a go. Try it with some different colours. Have a play with some backgrounds and see what you come up with. And of course, let me know how you get on. So if you're in and around on Monday, I think 7:30 my first show. Then it's a 12 o'clock and a 3 o'clock show. So tune in if you want to have a look. I'm going to be using the kois in the morning, so you can see how I use them if you need a little bit of a hand. And then, of course, the tile swap number 9. Tile swap number 9. My goodness. We're going to be doing that at 7 o'clock in the evening once I get back home. So I hope you can join me for that. I mean, if not a problem. You can always watch it at some other point. But it's really worth getting involved in. So have a go. It'll be lovely. All right, so I'll leave you with that. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you at some point, virtually of course, next week. Oh, Joanne, the stencil. I did show it on yesterday's video. So you have to go back and have a quick look at that. And we did show it there. So, all right, you take care, everybody, and I'll speak to you next week. Bye.